All right, so I'm talking Houston Texans today, and if you are new to this channel, one thing that you know is that we are Detroit Lions fans. A second thing that you know is that we love talking about teams that the national media looks over, that they ignore. That's our bread and butter right here on this channel. You see the Nico Collins. It's hard. It's backwards. All right, it's backwards. It's right here. All right, I'm a Michigan fan, so naturally I love me some Nico Collins. But signed jersey back there, showing some love for the Texans. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. You guys have a good team. You don't get enough attention. And the Texans, oftentimes there's teams, when they start playing good, they get more national attention. Detroit Lions started getting a ton of national attention. The Texans have what, back-to-back 12-5 seasons? Where's the national attention? It's not there. It's not there. And so we are going to talk about it. And in this video, they got not a single, not a double, but a triple dose back-to-back good news. And I had to look at my calendar. I'm like, it's July 2nd. Like, what are we talking about? But there's a ton of stuff out and about talking about three different things that I just have to talk about. So anyways, we're going to start with a rookie on the wide receiver front. Then we're going to move over to the defensive side of the ball. And then we're going to come back to the wide receiver room. All this is good news. All right. And the first one is Texans wide receiver Jaden Higgins, that he will be an instantaneous contributor in 2025. All right. I loved this guy coming out of Iowa State. Watching his film, I fell in love with him. You can watch film in a couple of different ways. You can watch it in one way where you watch everything, the good and the bad, or you can watch highlights, right? I mean, honestly, you can do either, and you can decide what's best. Back when I was a teacher, not teacher anymore, pastor now, one of the things, my principal had a belief. He said, nope, I'm going to tell you when you're going to have when we're going to come and observe you as a teacher, because if you can't be on when you know I'm coming, we got a problem. I like to look at what the ceiling is, and then if they are drafted into the right environment with the right quarterback, I'm talking wide receivers here, on the right team, you are going to reach that ceiling. And I think the Texans and C.J. Stroud being the quarterback can absolutely help that ceiling happen. What was Nico Collins before C.J. Stroud? Right? He wasn't what he is now. That's for sure. And so I say anybody who's come in contact with C.J. Stroud has been fantastic. They have not gotten worse. It's only gotten better. All right, so here's what was being said about him in OTAs. The Texans' on-field work for OTAs was pretty quiet as quarterback C.J. Stroud didn't throw. But one player who did make noise was second-round rookie wideout Higgins. All right, the big body receiver flashed his downfield ability by beating multiple cornerbacks throughout the spring, including Kamari Lassiter, who, when the Texans return to the field on July 23rd for training camp, Higgins is squarely positioned to compete for a starting role. All right, this isn't bad when you get a shout out from the head coach. Head coach says it's really exciting to see Jaden's growth process in a short amount of time. That's what I'm talking about with the ceiling. Right? Like if you're put in the right spot, how quickly can you grow and get to that ceiling consistently? I've seen a guy who steadily got better every single week. You've seen him make even more plays, and seeing him today, I mean, this is the most plays that he's made. And in our last week of camp, to see a rookie who's come in and showing right now that he could be an impact player for us, I think it means a lot. That's the first bit of good news. Is you have a second wide receiver that can take some of that pressure off of Nico Collins. He's going to be getting the second best player. So when you hear stuff like he beat Lassiter, who, as we find out, based on what PFF said, this is the best cornerback room or cornerback duo in the NFL. Here's what they had to say. They said Stingley established himself among the best cornerbacks in the league in 2023. But not many expected him to form arguably the best cornerback duo in the NFL with second-round pick Kamari Lassiter in 2024. PFF's Zoltan Burry wrote this: the two put together one of the best statistical seasons by a cornerback duo in recent memory. Stingley allowed a 39.6 passer rating into his coverage. That's insanity, by the way. Insanity, which led all cornerbacks and is the equivalent of a quarterback just throwing the ball into the dirt on every play. Yeah. Lassiter was not far behind, placing second, 59.7 in that category. They were also the top 2 cornerbacks in the league in completion rate, with Lassiter at 45.2, beating out Stingley at 45.3. So, on one side of the ball, you are forming a deadly wide receiver duo. And on the other side of the ball, you have already formed a deadly cornerback duo. So here's the thing. We know you have the best cornerback duo in the NFL as of last year and going into this year. All right, dethrone, right? Like you're the champs until somebody gets you. And so when I look at that, I sit here and say, okay, but what about on the offensive side? Well, then you come out and you hear that Christian, you have another wide receiver. I almost said Christian Watson. That would be the Green Bay Packers. Justin Watson. All right. Articles coming out saying he's already looks like he's underpaid before even getting a snap. All right. That he is balling out. So then it makes me think to myself, let's look at this wide receiver room. So you have the guys who have been around. You have Nico Collins, who is your alpha, right? Top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. I don't care what you say, he is. He is. He is physically dominant wide receiver, and when he is healthy, which it seems like he only is for about 13 games a year, but when he is healthy, he is one of the, if not the most physically dominating wide receivers in the NFL. All right, then you have guys who have been around the block for a little bit. You got Justin Watson, who's been in Kansas City, and you have Christian Kirk. These are the dudes that have been around. Yeah, I understand you still have Tank Dell. I'm just not talking about him right now because of that injury. Doesn't mean he's not going to be on the team in the future. All right, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this year, it's not in the cards for him, I don't think. So then you have the 3 that have been there. Braxton Berrios has been there, right? Hutch has been there a couple years. But then you have the guys coming in. Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. I've got to tell you, I truly think that it could be not long before this team is considered having not only the best cornerback duo in the NFL, but they could have a top 5, if not top 3, wide receiver tandems in the NFL with Nico Collins and Higgins. Or when you bring a third wide receiver into it. Like I'm telling you, and I have a weird love for Christian Kirk. I think you're going to enjoy the heck out of him and watching what he does out of the slot. So you're going to have your 2 big guys on the outside with Collins and Higgins, and then you're going to have Christian Kirk. He's going to man the middle, paving the way for Jalen Noel, who can just sit there behind him, learn from him, get better, right? Learn, and then he'll step up and take that role in a year or 2. You're in a good spot. Keep working on the offensive line. Sorry to have bummer at the end, but it was good. All right, if you like the content, if you like what we're doing here, please hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. Let you know when videos come out, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. See ya.